Hi, hello, my dear children. I hope all of you are staying safe. In this session, we are going to start a new chapter. Come on, let us see what is the chapter. Here I have drawn some closed curves on the board. Okay, they are all simple closed curves. Okay, and they can be drawn only on this plane surface. We cannot hold them. Okay, children. But you may ask me, if you take a paper, you can hold them. Yeah. It has a thickness, but that thickness is negligible. Very, very thin thickness. Okay, children. So, these plane figures, these simple closed curves can be drawn only on a plane surface. Either on a board, either on a wall, or on a paper. Okay, children. So, why I have drawn all these shapes? These shapes are called two-dimensional shapes. Okay, children. They cannot stand in this space. They don't occupy any space in the air. Okay, they have only length and breadth. That's all. They are these two are the two dimensions of these shapes. But when you consider this box, it has length, breadth and height. It needs a space. Isn't it, children? Without space, suppose a room is fully filled with some furniture or some other things. And if you want to keep this box inside that room, there should be some space. Then only it can be kept in that. Or if you want to keep this in a big box, it needs some space. If you want to keep this box on the table or chair or wherever you want, it needs some space. Isn't it, children? So this is called three-dimensional shape. This one is what? And this, all the solid shapes are three dimensions and everything. Even this also, if you want to keep this water bottle on a table, it needs the space. So these solid objects are called three-dimensional shapes. Have you understood what are two-dimensional shapes and what are three-dimensional shapes? And now these shapes, each shape has special names. All of you know that this is a rectangle, this is a circle, this is called a square and this is called as a triangle. Isn't it, children? Now, you can see all these shapes in our day-to-day life. Wherever you go, you can be able to see these shapes. Without these shapes, we cannot build anything. We cannot do anything what we want. Isn't it, children? So these shapes are familiar to us. And to make these shapes can be the faces of an object. Okay. And for constructing these shapes in a building or wherever you want, you need some measures. Without measure, we cannot draw a regular shape. These are all regular shapes, isn't it, children? They have some measures, they follow some rules, isn't it? So, what are we need to construct these shapes? Now, you have gone to parks. You have seen many parks, isn't it, children? The parks may be of rectangular shape or circular shape or square shape or triangular shapes. Isn't it, children? Suppose you are going for a walk. You can find the parks in these shapes. You can find the fields, walls. Wherever you go, you can see these shapes. Isn't it, children? And now, let us take a ball. Is going for a walk. Okay. So he is starting this from this corner and he moves in this direction. So from here to here moves, and again he is walking along this way. Then he is walking along this way, and again here, and again he is reaching the starting point. So he is going one time around this park. This is a rectangular park. This is a circular park. Okay, children. So how much distance he has covered? Suppose this is 15 centimeter and this is 10 centimeter. So first, not centimeter, 15 meter and 10 meter. So he has covered first from this point, this corner to this corner, 15 meter. From this corner to this corner, 10 meter. And from this corner to this corner, again 15 meter. And here 10 meter. So 15 meter plus 10 meter. So totally how much? 30, 40, 50. Isn't it, children? So here, see, when you cut all these shapes, 15 meter, and again join all these shapes, what do you get? You get the distance. Distance is nothing but a length. Isn't it? In the same way, suppose the boy is walking along the circular path. So first he is moving this way, and this way, and he is reaching the starting point. So he has completed one round. The distance, how much distance? He is walking along the boundary. Isn't it, children? And like this, every shape. Now, if you see this one, children, this is a fencing. So fencing, where this fencing is put up? Along this boundary, around the boundary, isn't it? So, how much length of the wire needed? If you take this thread, you can be able to find out how much thread we needed to make this fencing. Say this length and this length, this much length, see this much length. So what do we get, children? For putting the fencing, we need this much length of wire. The iron wire we need. We used to put the fencing with that iron bobbed wires, isn't it? So here I have used the thread. So for putting the fencing of this shape, I need that length of the thread. Have you understood, children? Now in the same way, now let us take this shape. This is also a closed figure. Isn't it, children? This is also a closed figure. Now, what is the total length of this boundary around the field? This. So as a result, when you are taking the total length, what do you get? You are getting a length. Isn't it, children? You are getting a length. Only one dimension. We are getting a length. So, from this you might have understood what are we going to discuss about today. And what is the special name for this length? The length of this wire and the length of this thread which is used for putting the fencing, and this represents the boundary of a closed figure. So what is a special name? In mathematics, we use new terms for each and every concept, isn't it? So what is the name? What is the name given to this concept? The total length of the outer boundary. The distance traveled around a shape. What is the new term? What is the term given to this? Perimeter. So we are going to start which chapter? Perimeter and area. Chapter 11. So we are going to discuss about chapter 11. Perimeter and area. I think you might have understood the concept of perimeter. So what is a perimeter of a shape, children? It is the total length of the outer boundary, the void, or the distance around the shape. So this boy is walking around this path, circular path. And this boy is walking along or around the rectangular path. And this represents the total length of the outer boundary of a closed shape. It can be made as a circular shape also. Isn't it, children? Circular shape. So now the boy is walking, starting from here and walking along the boundary, and he is coming like this. So how much distance he has traveled? This much distance. So the perimeter is nothing but what, children? The distance. It represents the distance, or it represents the length of the outer boundary. Distance around the shape. Have you understood the concept of perimeter? Now, children, this word perimeter we got from Greek. Peri means around. Meter means measure. Have you understood, children? So we are measuring the distance around the shape. That is why it is named as perimeter. Is it clear, children? So we have clearly discussed about the meaning of perimeter. Okay, so the perimeter is used for, wherever we are going to use, it is used for putting the fencing. And see here, framing. This pink color represents the length of the pink color frame, represents the perimeter of this shape. And if you take this, what? The total length of this black boundary represents the perimeter of this shape. And if you take this one, the total length of the black boundary represents the perimeter of this shape. Okay, children? I think you might have understood the concept of perimeter clearly in this session. In the next session, we will discuss about area of 2D shapes. Thank you, children. God bless you all. Take care of your health. Be safe.